and welcome to our webinar today. My name is Dr. Heather Wensler, and following today's presentation, I will provide my contact info should you ever have any questions or need to reach out to me. But I did want to thank you for joining today. Enjoy! For the demonstration, I'm going to be using a flow that was a template created by Microsoft. And you can find that flow by going to the bit.ly that I have created below. So take a quick picture of this screen with your phone or write it down if you need to. That way when you're finished, you can go back and get to the flow that we're using in this presentation. So let's take a look at how we can use Power Automate to create a flow which will send a notification whenever a page in OneNote is modified. So I'm going to give you a little bit of warning here. This looks like it's really difficult and it looks like a beast, but we're going to go step by step through this. There's really not much to change from the template that you're going to use. So on the previous screen, you saw the link that I gave to you to get to this screen in Power Automate. And the one that we want to use is called Send an Email with OneNote Pages that have been recently modified. So we're going to click on that and it's going to open and it's going to ask you to check your connectivity because you need to be logged into the school account. You also need to make sure that your Office 365 Outlook account connects and that your notifications will succeed. So what you're looking for once you click on that flow is 3 green check marks. Once you have that, click continue. Now, if you don't have that, that's another issue. So if you don't see all 3 green, you're going to come up here and you're going to choose data. You're going to choose connections. And again, this is only if you did not get 3 green check marks. If you've got 3 green check marks, you don't need to worry about this. But what you're going to do is make sure that your status for all of these connections is connected. If it's not, you'll want to contact your administrators to get that figured out. Okay, I'm going to just go straight back to right where we were. Again, this should give me my 3 green checks. It's just checking that everything's functioning, and then I'm going to click continue. Now again, this is going to look like a beast, but we don't have very much to check here. So what you're going to do, I'm going to scroll to the middle. I'm just sliding the bar over so it's in the middle of my screen. And we're just going to start at the top. So first we need to tell Power Automate when to run this. So we're going to click edit and you're going to be able to see when you want this to run. Now, if you choose one every day, that means that every 24 hours, any of the pages in the OneNote, which you will choose, any changes that were made will get sent to you by email every day, 1 time a day. So that might be okay for some classes. It might not be okay. You might want to do it, for example, every hour, so that every hour you get a notification of any page changes. If you do it, you could do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, you get the picture. For the demonstration, I'm going to choose minute because I want you to be able to see what happens when the flow is successful. And I don't want to have to keep you on this webinar for minutes at a time. Okay, so now that is all set. Actually, I don't have to do anything else up here. What I'm going to do is click in the blue box. It's just going to shorten things up a little bit. So your second, third boxes are fine. All of your initialized variables are fine. You don't need to change any of those. So notice by just clicking on the colored bar, it just opens the box or closes the box. I'm just trying to keep things a little more clean. Now you're going to come to the Get Sections in Notebook. Now this is where you're going to need to choose which of your OneNotes you're going to do this with. Now if you have multiple classes and you want to do this, you've got to repeat this for each class. So I have created one just for this demonstration. I've called my OneNote a flow demonstration notebook. Now, it says that I have to make sure I select the same notebook here as in the next step. So now I'm going to scroll down and it says get pages for a specific section. And then I have to give that same notebook key. I click the caret and I'm going to scroll down again to the same notebook, flow demonstration. And I'm just going to close this up again. I just want to keep things a little neat. I don't need to change much of else here, guys. We're almost done. And then we'll see how this works. Okay. I don't need to add time to pages, but I can. Here's what I'm going to change here. Instead of looking back at an entire day's worth of changes, which you could have it only look for changes that were done over a course of an entire day. I'm going to choose minute this time. And again, it's because I want you to see this running. I want you to see how this works. You can play around with this and you can change these time units as much as you want until you get the results you're looking for. So you don't have to worry about that. So my add to time pages, I'm going to set to minute. And my add to time today, I'm also going to change that day to minute. And again, if you want to do hour, you can do hour. If every day a notification is fine, then that's fine. Now, it's only going to send you an email if there were changes. So you don't have to worry about getting, 5,000 emails every minute, which is kind of nice. I don't have to worry about that. I'm going to scroll down and it says condition, only send email if pages were changed. And then it says if yes. It's going to send an email. So I click on send an email, the blue bar, and I need to put the email address for my account, my school account. So again, very important that you get your email in there. Here's where the body of the message is. Where it says the BR in the two sideways carets, that just means page break or break. So it's an enter key, it's code. So you can change your message to hello. You could change what it says currently. Here is your list of recently modified OneNote pages. You can customize this message to be whatever you want. You don't have to change a thing if you don't want to. Now, that's it. That's all I have to do. And then I'm going to click save. If there are any issues, it will come up and show me issues. It will tell me, it will give me a big red banner up here that will tell me there are some problems. So now what I want to do is run a test. So let's see what happens. Up in the upper right corner, you can check your flow or you can test. We're going to test this. Now I am going to perform the trigger action. The trigger action is what is going to start this flow running. And what that is, it's going to be me putting some kind of change on a page in that OneNote. So I'm going to perform the trigger action. I'm going to save and test. Okay, here's my OneNote. Let's just add a new message. Okay, testing again. So if this were a messages tab, for example, you could train your students each day or however you want to set this up. You could just title the pages messages, and this just becomes a shared space where you type on the same notebook page privately to your student. So your student could send a message like, I need help. And you could come on and ask the question, with what? Etc. So you can have that back and forth conversation, and it's private. It's only in this student's message tab. So it's private. So if your chat in Teams is turned off for your students, this is a way that you can chat with them. Now, what should have happened is I should have received an email, and here it is. Okay, good day. Here is your list of recently modified OneNote pages, and it's telling me it's in the Messages tab dated 4/30. So let's click on it. And it should take me to that page. And now I can see the message that my student sent to me. Now this is going to check every single minute, but if there are no changes to any pages, I'm not going to receive that email. So I don't have to worry about getting a clogged in basket. So this is how you can set up notifications to be notified when there's a change to a OneNote notebook page. Now, I'm going to come back over to my flow. I've already run the flow, so I don't need to run it again. I'm going to go back. I've already saved it. Oops, I did not. I will save it again just to make sure. And it is saving, and now I can go back to the previous page. Yes, I've saved it. Okay, so once I go back, it gives me some details, and it's going to give me a list of times that it has run. Now, you'll notice that, again, it's every minute. So if I changed my times from minute to hours, then every hour I would get a run. What if I don't want to run this anymore? If I am done, the year is over, I don't need my students to be changing their OneNote pages. Up at the top in the menu, you can turn the runs off. You can turn this notification, this flow off, and you don't have to worry about it. So I will stop getting notifications at this time. If I want to come back and turn it back on, no problem. I come right back in and I turn it back on and it will continue running. So it looks like it's very difficult to use, but really there's only a couple of changes in this one, and you'll be able to get those notifications in your emails when your students are changing their OneNote pages. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you were able to learn more about Microsoft's products. My contact info is on the screen should you have any questions at all. On my website, you can schedule small and large group trainings or even one-to-one consultations. I have also provided a link to access all of my Microsoft webinars on my YouTube playlist. My email is also posted, and I encourage you to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with all the latest Microsoft news. Thanks again for joining, and I look forward to seeing you again next time. Cheers.